Naga issue do Naga solutions do সব পি প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰি আছে সব পি মন ভিতৰে কেতিয়া সলিউশনস আহিব না কেতিয়া ইটো কনক্লুড হ'ব কেতিয়া একটা ইটো নাগা প্ৰবলেমস ইটো সলভ হ'ব আমি খান লাগা সলিউশনস আহিব কই না সব মন ভিতৰতে পৰা ইন্তজাৰ মন ভিতৰতে পৰা ৰখি আছে প্ৰাৰ্থনা কৰি কিনা বহি আছে হলিবি এতিয়া তাক বি একো সলিউশনস নাই এতিয়া তাক বি আহি যাব খতম হ'বলৈ আছে নাগা ইস্যুসটো কনক্লুড হৈছে খতম হৈ দিছে এটো সলিউশনস পাইছে দেই কৈ কিনা একো ৰাস্তা না দেখে 2015 দে একৰ্ড সাইন হদম দে খুশি পাইছে কি একটা সলিউশনস তো আহিব কৈ কিনা 2019 দে 31st অক্টোবৰ ডেডলাইন দিছে নাগা সলিউশনস ইটো কনক্লুড কৰিব কাৰণে এটো ৰখি থাকিছে হলিবি এটো টাইম টিভি conclude একো solutions আহিব পৰা নাই pandemic কাৰণে সব ক্লোজ হৈ না থাকিছে এতিয়া resumes হৈ আছে হলিবি এতিয়া বি একো solutions নাই এতিয়া নাগা issues তো currently কিনেগা যাই আছে কিনেগা খতা কৰি আছে পাব্লিক খান কাৰণে আপনি খান কাৰণে অলপ শেয়াৰ কৰি দিব আগে ভিডিও দে মই সব ডিটেইল দেখাই দিছে গভৰ্নমেন্ট অফ ইন্ডিয়া লা কি স্ট্যান্স আছে Nagas of Nagaland like ki stand tagise legislators kan ki kuise eto han moi apni khan lode share kori dise etu video de sabole parbo eu video han de check korole parbo moi eto han do repeat nokore jabo eto apni khan jai na eto video te check korole parbo apni khan janibo mon thakise bile aro etu pochade itia IM kan bra reject kori dise cultural flag to tai khan accept nokoribo koina reject kori dise constitutions to a reflect na thaki jubile tate eco solutions na kuribo koigina to stands kori ase tai khan government of india bra goise flag naga manukhan do naga flag to use korole parbo only not as a political flag but as a cultural flag mane mohan sports time de flag khan use kore nalwi state flag khan inia thake party flag khan jena inia thake to iniga use korole parbo only not as a political flag representing nations government office kan they do use corona parbo to karine NSN IM kan bra do cultural flag to accept na korbo koina ta declaration dise aro tai kan do last man standing tak thakibo koina it be janai dise to ede ekta khoto komon thakala do last man standing this shows the warlike decisions holibi iniga no hoy they also said that they will continue to talk Taikon cultural flag accept na korbo ko ase constitutions flag no jubile nathakju bile accept na korbo ko ase so let's abrogate the ceasefire then fight for the Naga freedom to be as a solutions but they wanted to continue the talk
now the NSC and I may argue why also not give us our flag which is a symbol and the constitution that may be a strong argument from the NSC and IM side. How would you respond to that?
I fully agree with them and their sentiments. I know they cannot forfeit the flag and constitution. But what we mean to say is if they are serious, they should try to come to a meeting point. Because government of India is going all out of the way to come to a meeting point. So somewhere down the line, IM also should try to find a meeting point. But I think in all fairness, our IM brothers are not very serious about the peace talks.
Nagas of Nagaland is in no mood, is clear on their stand that no solutions will be accepted without physical integrations of land. Matlab Assam de Naga manakhan takhan bi takhan lagai area Nagaland de anibo Arunachal de Naga manakhan thakia khan Takan bi takan laga area mati anibo Manipur de naga manukhan thakia khan takan bi takan laga mati anibo Bormati thaka khan takan bi takan laga mati anibo inika milai ina etu solutions hoise bole accept korbo holibi nijor laga mati na nigina etu solutions hobo koila do etu de accept na korbo koina Nagas of Nagaland laga stands to tate boi ase
as long as the Manipuri Nagas do not have some sort of legal status in the state of Nagaland. That's the sticking point.
So, you think, Mr. Kahoto Somi, you also think that there is going to be a stalemate now?
Yes, yes. Because the government of India is caught between a rock and a hard place. It cannot grant any sort of legal status to the Manipuri Nagas without the consent of the Nagas of Nagaland. And the Nagas of Nagaland will not be willing to grant any legal status without territorial integration.
What is the stumbling block? What is the stumbling block?
The legal status of the Manipuri Nagas in the state of Nagaland. That is what I believe is a stumbling block. It is not a constitution. Because I have said that the NSCN constitution is a constitution based on the Chinese Communist constitution. And again, credit must be given to Mr. K.K. Sema for bringing out the powers of the president, Yarawo. And that is based on the North Korean system of dictatorship.
Congress Minister There Bra statement is कि Nagaland's legislative is assembly. Nagaland government UDA government is run by NSM, not by the government. Government bra run urena NSM IM bra run kuriasi kuina tai itu recent statement itu disha.
You are aware, the other day we all read about the news that NNCN IM has warned Nagaland Legislative Assembly not to overstep their assigned role. Their assigned role as facilitator and bewilder on the solution. Who has assigned the role of facilitator? I thought in the beginning it was a decision of the State Legislative Assembly. But this has been assigned by NNCN AIM to play a role of facilitator. And the whole Nagaland State Assembly has been playing for the last 17 years as facilitator, as assigned by NNCN AIM. This is not a people's government. There is a super government directing Nagaland Legislative Assembly. I have expected that Chief Minister will react, but this is the fourth day he has not reacted. And today, in his statement, he said, as facilitator, I have nothing to say. Does he represent Nagaland people or he represents nothing? If he represents nothing, then why he should sit in the chair of people's government? He should be dismissed. And therefore, I would like to inform the people of Nagaland that this government is no more people's government, but is acting under the directive and playing a role of facilitator as assigned by NNCN IM. Therefore, I am demanding the dismissal of this government to facilitate, implement the political solution.
Aro Nagaland laga legislative assembly tade legislators can facilitate kuri ase Naga solutions te facilitate kuri ase itu karone public kan Naga leaders kan ke Naga legislative kan ke tai kan itu ki stand kuri ase itu awas kuri dibi itu uthai dibi itu khota kuri dibi koina pressure dia laga hisab te bra Nagaland legislators kan bi tahan bi idia itu awas kuri ase itia bi tahan bi itu statement dia ase ki ase itu public kan ke janai dia ase itu itia IM kan bra bi warn kuri ki facilitators khans to tai khan do facilitate kuri ase itu laga age te na jabi koigina itu statement bi dishe government of India aro NSMs aro na itu Naga factions kan skile directly khota koro na pare directly khota na kurigina tate middleman rakhigina delay kuri ase.
You see, both the government of India and NSNIM should try to find a meeting point. But they're not trying to. At least somewhere down the line, I feel government of India is quite reasonable and they're trying to go out of the constitution to fulfill the NSIN demands. But if NSCN-IM does not budge a bit, then there'll be a stalemate. And when there is a stalemate, we're heading for more trouble. And what are those troubles that we foresee? More confusion, more extortion, the publics will be harassed. So more troubles are ahead.
Framework agreement day entirety in NSMIM entirety itu Hokato sovereignty ekta separate nations itu represents kuri ase aro government of India do alag teura itu definition dise to key definition ase to gile itu entirety the word entirety is being added into the framework agreement face to face bohi gina meeting kuri na itula matlab itula definitions settle korile hi bal nohoy core committee kan nolim facilitators kan ekta group logote khota koribo aro ekta group logote khota koribo aro definitions alag aro ekta group logote ekta khota koribo ekta group logote ki khota kore ekta group logote ki khota kore same khota kore isna alag alag khota kore ase itu tu isori jane to sob ek bar miligena ek bar ekta jagate bohigena khota kile korbo na pare kile settle korbo na pare.
Sir, I suggest that before we discuss a constitution, you ask all members if they are aware of the NSCN constitution and if they are willing to abide by it, especially the Naga Oho, the NMA, NSF, NPHR, Global Naga, and this overseas Nagas. You ask them, are they aware of the NSCN constitution? Are they willing to abide by the terms of the NSCN constitution? Because we're talking about a constitution and we don't know what the constitution is. So please ask them that. Then we can move further on.
Okay.
I said it earlier that the only sticking point is the legal status of the Manipuri Nagas in Nagaland. If that is granted by the government here or by the state government or by the people of Nagaland, then this whole issue will resolve itself.
Nagas of Nagaland laga stands to political solutions without the integrations of land is unacceptable to the Nagas of Nagaland. Tate stands kori ase. Ida Congress Minister Bra koi ase. What is the use of flags in the constitutions without the sovereignty?
Talking something flag and constitution without sovereignty. Is there anything like that? Are we fools? Why 25 years without solution? And they have never placed any clear, concrete paper, concrete suggestion to the people. Even now, Nagaland people should have freedom to decide. Others should not dictate us.
Ida the flag aro do constitutions do Nagaland hi implement kurbo na itu flags aro constitutions do Naga area in Assam they use kurole parbo Naga area in Arunachal Pradesh they use kurole parbo na nai Naga areas in Manipur de the flag cholawole parbo na nai constitution cholawole parbo na nai Nagas areas of Myanmar Burma te itu constitutions aro itu flag tu dilebi cholawole parbo na paribo ko na jane. There is nothing transparency in this.
The issue of flag and the Yazabo is a question that they have to clarify exactly how they intend to use that, because there's a huge area of distrust that has come up in the fashion in which the flag will represent a Naga nation without an integration, and that significance of the flag disappears and become irrelevant if all the Naga inhabited areas are not brought together into a formal union, an integrated situation. In the absence of integration, I think the flag is meaningless if it is planted in Nagaland, and that would signify the nationhood of the Nagas living everywhere else beyond the state of Nagaland, and they would want to have equal rights with the Nagas of Nagaland while enjoying their own privileges under a special autonomous territorial councils and at the same time enjoy the privileges with the state of Nagaland. So the flag in itself is at this particular point in time something that the Nagas of Nagaland may have to think rather seriously as to whether their flag is intended only to ensure that the southern Naga brothers would find a foothold in the state of Nagaland. Otherwise, the significance of a national flag minus integration is zero. As far as the Yazabo is concerned, we do also believe that there has to be a clear identity defined in whatever manner as a Yazabo within or outside the Indian Constitution, where the rights, our dignity, our citizenship are also recognized at equal level, not as secondary citizens of any country or any establishment. Whether the NACNI would like to clarify exactly what that flag is all about minus integration. And going by the yardstick saying they will enjoy their own privilege in their own territory exclusively, but will share the rights and responsibilities even within the state.
Right.
So here is the philosophy of our southern brothers is to say that whatever belongs to them is theirs, but whatever belongs to me is going to be shared by everybody. Mine is mine, yours is ours. That philosophy will never work for the people of Nagaland.
Framework agreement bi tade ki ase ki discussions kure naga manhan karne ki discussions kure Nagas do not know anything about except talk jase talk kure ito laga ase ki khota kure still the public is unaware of the agreement. Government of Nagaland bi itia agreed position in ase ki framework kurin ase itu implement koribi koigena endorse korba lage ki settlement agreements kurina ase itu endorse korba lage. Government of Nagaland bi ki framework agreement sign korina ase itu public khan ke kobo lage, should be revealed to the public. Naga manuhan ke naga public khan ke ki khota kore ase ki ase itu dikhabole itu kobole time hoise.
We would like to go and interact with the higher ups, and in case it is online with the honorable, acceptable, and inclusiveness, then we would request the government of India to implement it. But nevertheless, before implementation, the competency clauses or the agreed position should be made public. It should be made known to the public. In other sense, it should come to the public domain so that people will see whether it is good for the Nagas or not. And if it is acceptable to the publics, then we may request the government of India to go ahead.
Solutions to inega jaya se inega ulta pulta milai na mix hoye na inega ase itya tak bi manuhan inega confusions de ase. Solutions ahibo gulbi public khans laga upore ase, solutions naibo gulbi public khan laga upore ase dei. Itya Nagaland thaka bi smaller Nagaland hoy jabole ase. Itya Nagaland thaka bi phange jabole ase, chutu hoy jabole ase. ENPO bra Frontier Nagaland mangi ase aro CNTC bra Naga solutions nai se kule union territory kori dibi koina itu demand kori ase je aro itu nadi se kule tahan agitations koribo tahan itu demand karone stand koribo koina tahan statement dise eta dangur laga demand dibra eta olop thaka bi itu bi phangi jabole time te punchi jaise. Can the Nagas, especially the Nagas of Nagaland, be able to afford the breaking of Nagaland into another pieces is up to the Nagas. Whether we progress with the world or we stay back to 1947 still.